Gather round. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the center of the stage, where I'd like to introduce to you the one, the only, the incomparable.
And welcome to Austin James Unleashed. I am Austin James. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast. Also want to thank Kevin White from Mach 10 Media, directing, editing, washing the windows, doing everything. We're here at the world-famous Texas Club, and we're so fortunate to talk with a guy who is from Louisiana, and he's actually Mr. Louisiana. He's Wayne Toups. Thank you so much for talking with us. He's getting ready to play a show here at the Texas Club. It's been quite a journey for you.
It has. It's it's been a wonderful, wonderful time so far.
Any regrets?
I could say a couple, but you know what? I'd much rather stay on the top side of it,
We'll probably talk about that a little bit later, but you're originally from
Crowley, Louisiana.
Crowley,
yes.
And you currently reside in Eunice.
I reside in Eunice now, yes.
Now, do you spend a lot of time outside of that area? I know you have, an 8-year-old son?
I have an 8-year-old son, lives with his mom in Lafayette. I see him anytime I want. He goes to Lafayette Christian Academy School in Lafayette, and we got a nice place out there in Eunice. 13 acres, 3-acre pond. It's pretty nice. So.
Is it really relaxing coming off the road and going back home? I mean, what's the feeling when that happens?
Well, you know what? I tend to see that whenever we're not on the road a lot, though, my hands start to hurt. I get a little antsy because we're not working. I'm not around the guys. But it's good to relax, we get home. And especially after a 3 or 4 day run, you got to recharge your batteries. Mm-hmm. You have to recharge them, I mean, we're no spring chickens anymore to keep doing the kind of intensity work that we do. But we still enjoy it. And we still keep the fire going. So, when I get a chance to relax, I'll watch a little TV, maybe drink a little bottle of wine, So.
A little bottle of wine.
But,
how much? A little bottle of wine.
A little bottle.
So growing up, you had it, I guess, kind of tough growing up.
Well,
it wasn't easy.
You know what? I was born in 58, so there was some rough times growing up. They didn't have all the great jobs because I didn't have the education, like a lot of my friends had. I started at the bottom and worked myself up. Played a little bit of Cajun music in the 70s. I worked odd jobs here and there. And kind of made our way through. And then opportunities started to arise. After I quit the oil field and started working again in the music, I got some pretty good chances to do some different stuff, and it materialized, and here we are today. 40 years later, I've been all over the world, something my parents never seen. So yeah. I've got a chance to do a lot of great things.
You started working at a very young age.
I did. I wasn't too much interested in school. You had to go back then, you couldn't stay home. You had to go. But, when I turned 15, my daddy signed a release form so I could go to work, and I started working for, an irrigation canal company,
Making how much an hour?
$2.10 an hour.
And I bet you thought it was a lot of money back then.
Well, and listen, I had to walk a canal every morning, 10 miles and 6 miles in the afternoon,
Unbelievable.
And, but hey, you know what? I mean, earning what you get, you sure see a different perspective.
Yeah.
On things, the outcome of things, Sure, over the years, people give you things and you receive accolades and stuff like that. But working hard has always been a part of my life.
Well, you work hard now. I mean, you can tell by your stage and the shows and everything else that there's a work ethic in there that's just unbeatable.
It's but it's a lot of fun, and in order to sound the way we do, we have to work hard at it. And the older we get, we have to work hard at.
When you were in the oil fields, did you pick up an accordion then?
You know what? We on the 7 days off, you know, we played a little bit of music around the house, you know, drank a little beer, you know, stuff like that. But no, I didn't go play, you know, jobs like that. I was working in the oil field. I had a pretty tough job there, you know.
Can you remember the first time you played the accordion?
Yeah, it was in Lake Arthur. I was 13 years old. My brother taught me my first song, the Wedding March, an old standard in our Cajun tradition, you know, by Robin Lejeune. Yeah.
That's such a cool story. The history in your family. I mean, with a lot of musicians, right? I mean,
Absolutely no.
it was, but there was music around the house.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, my brother was 9 years older than me. You know, I was the baby, and you know, my daddy and my mama, before they split when I was 5, they brought us to the Cajun dance. They'd go dancing on the weekends, and you could bring your kids, and they had a little place you could bring your babies and stuff, and let them play and stuff while they danced to the French dance, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but you know, we always listened to me. My brother always had a radio on or 8-track tapes playing. Robert Lejeune, Belton Richard, Otis Redding, George Jones, Conway Twitty, you know. A variety, the Swamp Pop, the Johnny Allens, and the Tommy McLeans, and all that, you know. So I grew up listening to all that stuff. The different genres helped me later in my career to become who I am, you know. Trying to sing like them, trying to play the accordions like the old guys, and, you know, adding my own little twist that would have helped a lot, you know.
Yeah.
A little bit of Southern rock to it, a little R&B, you know. So.
I know, because you've recently, I guess, changed up your playlist a little bit. There's a little bit more variety in there that I think.
You know what? It's you know, there's about 3 or 4 or 5 times a year I put a Cajun band together, and I get to play all those old traditional songs that I grew up with, you know. But on the side of Cajun stuff, you know, I got 15 albums to choose from. So I have to, you know, stick with the songs that everybody at this generation is familiar with, you know, with Wayne Toups.
Do you still like listening to vinyl?
Absolutely, yeah.
I love vinyl records.
I have a great Panasonic system. I got an old vintage SVT unit that I use, you know. It's heavy, weighs about 100 pounds. Got some old 901 Bose speakers from the 70s.
The stuff that lasted a long time out there.
Absolutely, and still sounds really, really nice.
You were on Mercury Nashville for a while, and there was a lot of attention from Nashville. Attention brought upon music here in South Louisiana. Your music, Joel Saunier, was on Capitol.
Well, you know, Joel was on Mercury in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, Joel was 11 or 12 years older than me, you know, and he signed with Mercury in the 70s. He was a phenomenal artist, you know. He brought a lot of our Cajun heritage to Nashville with him when he went up there, you know.
Yeah. Why do you think there was such a focus on this kind of music?
Well, you know,
for Nashville.
Well, because, you know, Hank Williams did Louisiana Hayride.
Yeah.
You know, so that was our connection from way back then.
And Hank Jr. recorded with Jimmy C. Newman.
And Jimmy C. left Mamu. He was in Nashville for 40 years, 50 years. On the Grand Ole Opry for 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, so we've been having a connection with the people in Nashville for a long time, you know. Oh, Jay Miller. Mm-hmm. Jay Miller wrote Wouldn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angel. He was from Iota, Louisiana, you know. He wrote with Acuff and Rose for years, you know. So we've always had a strong connection with people in Nashville, you know.
A lot of songs that come to you, that people bring to you, you have to filter a lot of that stuff, don't you?
Oh, yes. And I got a good friend of mine from Nashville, an exceptional songwriter, sent me 25 songs about a year ago. I only liked one. There was only one of them that would fit what Wayne Toups could do.
And what was that?
I haven't did nothing with it yet.
You can't put the cart before the horse. That'd be like...
Hey guys, it was a pleasure serving you.
But we didn't even order yet.
Huh.
Never sign a contract with a roofer before he gets on your roof.
Call Go Roof instead.
We offer a free, no obligation inspection.
A beautiful roof every shingle time.
Bobby, goes in the front.
Let's talk about a signature song that you have.
Okay.
Whenever you play it, people go crazy. Take My Hand.
There's more than one, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Take My Hand.
Take My Hand, though, it's like a, when you think about Wayne Toups, you think about that song.
Well, that's the one that got the most road.
Yeah.
The most roadworthy out of it, you know?
And the guy that wrote it at the time, I think, he was 14, 15?
He was 13.
He was 13 years old.
Travis
Thibodeau, right.
Home in Louisiana.
Yeah. That's nuts.
He's an amazing
that
artist, too.
Song has propelled you even higher than where you were.
And, a perfect example, I'm going to show you. I'm going to explain to you a perfect example of how one's delivery of a song can change the outcome of it. That song was sent to me about a year after he recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I listened to it, and I took it and I rearranged it, put some accordion to it, and did it the way I did, and all of a sudden it went through the roof. But it was recorded on the same label that Travis Thibodeau recorded it on.
That's nuts.
There's been some instances where, people don't realize that, let me see here. I'll give you a perfect example. Mark Chestnut did Friends in Low Places.
Right. It was on his debut album.
But it didn't become iconic until Garth Brooks did it.
Yeah.
It's his delivery.
And also Calling Baton Rouge.
Right.
Oak Ridge Boys had that.
Actually, no, it was Bluegrass Revival.
That was after Oak Ridge Boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Oak Ridge Boys had it in the 70s, late 70s, I do believe. And then the Newgrass Revival had it in the late 80s.
That's a great cut, too.
Oh, yeah, it was. And then Garth
really
Brooks
great
made it famous,
Yeah,
obviously.
absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Called the earthquake in...
caused the earthquake when he played at Tiger Stadium
Right,
in, what was it, 21?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think the last time there was a quote-unquote earthquake
Yeah.
at Tiger Stadium was when Burt Jones threw a touchdown pass. I think it was Brad Davis when they were playing Ole Miss.
Right.
I think it was Ole Miss, and all of a sudden it started shaking like crazy. The awards that you've received, incredible. Grammy. You've been on stage all over the world.
You know what?
Jazz Fest.
We just did our 36th one at Jazz Fest.
You played Texas Club in Baton Rouge, 42 times, I think?
42? 43,
42,
44,
right?
something like that.
that, yeah.
And I'm honored every time. Mark and them have been so good to us over the years, and I'm glad they stuck with me. Because I was a nobody when they first got me in here,
Yeah.
And they stuck to their guns, and look at us today, We're both old men that like to play golf.
What's your handicap? Yeah.
It's letters. It's not numbers.
I didn't know you played golf.
Well, I own a set of clubs.
Do you play often? Do you get a chance to play often with your schedule?
5, 6, 7 times a year, maybe a dozen times a year at the most, And it's mostly tournaments,
Yeah, charity tournaments.
Yeah, we do a lot of charity stuff.
You've done a lot of charity events.
Oh, yeah, we
giving back.
We try, we try our best, When it doesn't interfere with our work, because we still got to pay the bills like everybody else, but
Sure.
we try to get as much in there as we can,
Is it difficult to keep the band the way it is? Because I know there are a lot of lineup changes, and there have been a lot of lineup changes in your band and with your show.
Well, you know what? We try to gel as one, and sometimes our heads butts, and we go our different ways. I have to keep in perspective the integrity of the organization and the style of music that I play, and that's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can come in here and change anything.
Yeah.
And a lot of them tend to, you have to be disciplined to want to be able to play somebody else's riffs, but that's just the way it is. A lot of that stuff's all signature. It has to be done that way. And some people don't look at it that way, and it's fine. I mean, you know, I've had some great musicians come and go in this band, you know, and they're all good friends of mine, and we all stay buddies. And, you know, we have our different opinions, and, you know, that's what America is.
Exactly.
You know? We get to speak our freedom, you know, our
Yeah.
freedom of speech. And, you know, we look at things different, but that doesn't mean that we are different, you know, so.
Tell us about your trip to Steamboat.
Oh, Steamboat Springs?
Yeah.
I met a guy named John Dickinson Productions, a couple of years ago. And he hired us to do something called Toups and Vaqueros, which is a really big trail ride that they do in the hill country in Texas. And he hired us to go to Steamboat Springs. And we went the first year, and we were supposed to play outside. And it was 9 degrees, and it was snowing. And he come up to me, he says, I'm sorry, Wayman, I got to call it, you know. I said, I understand, you know. I said, I can't pull out my squeeze boxes in the snow. Once the moisture gets to them, they won't play at all. I said, well, find us a venue, though. He said, what are you talking about? I said, I didn't come here to Steamboat Springs, not to play no music, man. Find us a place to play. He says, are you serious? I said, sure. So he put us inside. Nobody wanted to play after us, you know. And then they finally found someone that would play after us. So they found a time slot for us, and we played our 75-minute show. We blew their socks off, and we were back this year. And, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Is that one of your favorite places to play?
You know what? I've been doing the Delbert McClinton cruise since 1995.
That's almost 30 years.
And, you know, Delbert McClinton is an amazing artist. I got a chance, you know, to play with, you know, Jimmy Hall and Marcia Ball and the Mavericks and
Oh, Mavericks. That's one of my favorite bands.
Raul and them they're fabulous.
Great guy.
I got a chance to do a lot of stuff, you know, Hal Ketchum.
Yeah.
I believe Sleep at the Wheel. Mm-hmm. That's all friends of mine that I met over the years. You know, Miss Pam Tillis was on there. Mm-hmm. And so that's something special. And Jazz Festival's one of our favorite places. But every year we go back to the Rice Festival in Crowley. And I'm their homeboy.
Where it all began.
Yes, right. I'm their homeboy, and they show their appreciation. They come out by the thousands. You know,
I've seen pictures on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a sea of people. It's just incredible.
Yes.
Amazing.
You know, the awards, you know, I was nominated for a Grammy in I think 2013.
Yeah.
And
you cleaned up pretty well. You were all dressed up, and you had the suit on, and the
you know we were
the accessories and whatnot.
You know, actually we were on a Wayne Toups cruise. I did about 5 or 6 of my own, you know, on Royal Caribbean, and we were on a cruise. And when we got back, I turned my phone on because I never have it on the cruise, and I got about 100 text messages saying that we were nominated for a Grammy. Excuse me. And I said, are you serious, man? You know, so not knowing it was Mardi Gras weekend, I called, at the time it was Norman Land with Kingsland Entertainment. I called with them and said, look, don't be booking nothing. We going to L.A. He said, what's up? I said, well, we're nominated for a Grammy. He said, really? But we had the Monday book for Mardi Gras in Lafayette. So we flew to L.A. and we got to walk the red carpet. And I bought me a Robert Graham suit, you know. And
you looked great. You really did.
Thank you, Ray.
It was really
Thank
cool.
You. It was an amazing trip. Something I'll never forget.
What about playing outside the country?
Oh, man, we've had some great times. You know, the first time I went to Canada was with Michael Doucet in Beausoleil. That was in '86. We went to Quebec, and in the wintertime it was cold, you know. Yeah. But it's '87. I went to South and Central America. Yeah. A USIA tour. Mm-hmm. And 1990 we went to Southeast Asia.
But that was interesting.
It was amazing. We flew all the way to Bangkok, man.
Wow.
Straight flight.
Oh no, that's a long flight.
Well, you know what? From New Orleans to San Francisco, and then
And
from
then-
San Francisco, you know. But yeah, it was a long way. And listen, we were received. It was an amazing reception. You know, we played a place in New Zealand called the Glue Pot, which the Stones had played it. Stephen Ray Vaughan had played it. They had all the pictures on the wall and stuff. You know, something like this.
Yeah.
You know, not quite as big. You know, but it was like a little honky tonk in the middle of New Zealand.
I'd love to see that.
It was amazing. It was called the Glue Pot. It don't exist anymore. You know, we were the last band to play the Lone Star Cafe in New York
No kidding.
before they did the Roadhouse. You know, and that was popular. On another note, I want to tell you, you know, back in the day when we were just coming up, we were never corporate radio friendly. You know, corporate radio didn't play us a lot, you know. But you went out of your way, and you helped us along the way, and we appreciate that, my friend.
Well, Wayne, I tell you,
We
your
appreciate-
friendship over the years has been valuable. And it's like, whenever I see you in concert, it's like, I don't see an artist on stage. I see a friend visiting with friends and having a good time. And your music has always stood the test of time.
No, thank you.
And I've always tried to do what I could to help you out.
I know. Hey, listen. I know. You know, back then the DJs, their hands were tied. You know, but you seem to untie them every now and then to just throw a little bit of Wayne Toups on your station. And I really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate that. And I followed you for a long time.
Well, yeah, we've been knowing each other for
Yeah.
35 years.
Well, for the
It's hurricane season, and Go Roof wants to make sure you're prepared for the next storm.
Charge batteries so you can stay informed about weather conditions.
Be proactive by trimming and removing damaged trees and limbs.
Secure loose items around your house.
Check your insurance coverage to make sure you are covered for any potential damage.
Fuel up your vehicles, generators, and gas cans. Also, remember that stored gas is usually only good for around 6 months.
After the storm, call Go Roof for a free no-obligation roof inspection.
And be safe this hurricane season.
with the radio station as well when I was working there. And also there was an event. I don't know if you remember this. It's a long time ago. It was in Morgan City, a long time ago. And it was cold. And some of the roads were kind of frozen. And there was a delay in your show starting. Okay, and it was cold. So I introduced you on stage, but I don't think the rest of the band were there. And we were listening to an LSU game, football game.
Uh-huh.
But you got on stage and you had a cup of hot chocolate with you, and you just took your accordion and just started, just slowly, just kind of, so the crowd can be satisfied. And then obviously the rest of the band came in, and then you started your regular show. But you just improvised, and you're doing that. And it was great. It really was.
Wow.
It's like that's the mark of a true professional.
Well, I always did love it. I love sharing it. That was one of the most exciting things. After we signed with Mercury, we signed with a booking agent out of Chicago, and we went out 265 days that first year.
Yeah.
And the most exciting thing was waking up the next morning in a different city, knowing that I was going to be able to share what we had on vinyl. That was the exciting thing. I couldn't wait to get up and smell different air in a different city,
And seeing all of the different people, all the fans,
Yes,
being receptive to your music.
yes. Over the years, it's been a whirlwind.
You wouldn't think someone from, say, Minneapolis would dig this kind of
Oh,
music.
they did. They did. We played up there so much. We used to play Chicago 6 times a year. They loved us up there. I mean, they loved. We'd play at Buddy Guy's Legends,
Oh, man.
and Buddy was there, majority of the time, and we did some dates with him, and he was just a sweetheart, and I got a chance to play with Ray Charles and Carole King, and we've opened some shows with Tower of Power and Sting.
Yeah.
Tedeschi Trucks Band, and
Oh, man.
it's
What great memories.
yeah.
I bet you have a whole bunch of pictures and photos
I
and
played
stuff.
Farm Aid.
Yeah.
I played
remember
Farm
that,
Aid.
yeah.
I played Farm Aid. I've I did MTV Mardi Gras Live.
Oh, gosh. Now that must have been an experience.
And then we did Super Bowl Saturday night,
Yeah.
you know. I never got a chance to meet George Strait. And I always wanted to meet him. He's such a class act.
But you've met George Jones.
Oh, yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah,
a couple
right.
of times I met Mr. George.
Yeah, yeah, a
I
couple-
recorded with him, yeah.
Right. But George Strait, you haven't gotten a chance to
No.
say, hey, hi, how are you?
No, sir. But I got a chance to meet Slash.
Why not? There it is.
Yeah, picture of Slash playing my accordion.
Look, when you have an opportunity to meet Slash, that's the pinnacle of your career.
You know, it's amazing.
And we also want to mention that Wayne is part of the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame.
The Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, you know, there's also a Louisiana Blues Hall of Fame. And Mike Foster is the one who signed it. That they inducted into that. And then I'm in the Cajun French Music Hall of Fame. And then the Gulf Coast Hall of Fame is in Port Arthur, Texas. That's with ZZ Toups and George Jones and, you know, Johnny and Edgar Winter and all that.
Right.
They're all in there, you know.
Yeah. We've talked about all of the great things that have happened in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that you've had some struggles.
Sure.
Years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
We know the Wayne that goes on stage.
Well, you know what?
Let's hear about the wild Wayne.
Well, let me just say this. You know what? You got to remember, I'm a poor little boy from South Crowley, man. Whenever we signed with Mercury, we went on the road, man. It was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know, we had a Southern rock band with a squeeze box fuel lead man, you know, with big old biceps and, you know, and, yeah, but you know what? There's an end to that sex, drugs, and rock and roll end, and it's a dead end, you know, and I did 10 months for it, you know.
Describe that for us. The 10 months, if you can.
Well, you know what?
Because I know it's a blur.
Yeah, you know, it's not a blur. You know what? I work for 10 cents an hour. It's like a military thing. You know, you get up, fix your bed, you dress in your uniform, you go to work, you know? Yeah, you got to be certain places. It was like military, you know? And, you know, I've been drug-free 17 years now. And I've never felt better.
You look great.
My mind is clear.
Yeah.
My mind is clear. I got a great band. I got a great sense of business.
Great family.
You know, I got a great family. I got a bunch of great friends. You know what? My trials and tributes, I've had mine just like everybody else.
Of course.
But you know what? Thanks to the good Lord, I was able to overcome it. And since all that happened, I've won a Grammy and been inducted to a couple of Hall of Fames. And my career is budding better than ever now, you know. And but yeah, no, I had my fun back in the day, you know, like everybody else.
Of course.
You know? We all had our fun times with that crazy stuff that we did. You know?
And the good thing is you're here to talk about it.
Well, you know what? I was able to.
Because a lot of people aren't that fortunate.
No, well, you know what? Whenever they put you away for 10 months, you make that decision. Do you definitely want to be institutionalized, or you want to make something out of it? You know, so I made something out of it.
Do you think your show improved because of that?
Absolutely. After being clean, yes. Mm-hmm. I hear the notes better. I sing the songs better. I got a better perspective of the audience, and you know, back then, man, we were crazy. You know, we were crazy back then, you know, and although it was crowd participation, we were in another land, you know.
And it's hard to not get wrapped up in that.
Well, you know what?
There are a lot of times that it's
everywhere.
That it's so difficult to avoid.
I don't know what it is. I don't know how it is these days. You know, 25, 30 years ago, it was everywhere. You know, so I don't know now. You know, I've been out of the game a very long time. Like I said, you know what, and I don't miss it. And you know what, I don't want to be around it, and I don't want to know nobody that does it or be around it. That's not my deal. My deal is drinking some good Cabernet.
Yeah. What about an old fashioned?
I love it.
Do you like an old-fashioned?
Oh, yes.
I was talking to someone earlier about an old-fashioned. That's one of my favorite.
Oh, I love
that's
it.
my favorite go-to
Oh,
drinks.
yeah, man.
I'll tell the server or the bartender, whomever, avoid the sugar packet. You can keep the sugar packet or the sugar cube
Right.
and put a shot of grenadine in there or cherry juice.
Ah.
It'll change. I don't know if you like cherry tasting
Let
things.
me ask you something.
I love that.
I don't like all the sugar, you know, but boy, it sure
It tastes good.
Oh, God almighty.
It's wonderful, especially those little cocktail cherries that they put in
the
there.
little black ones.
Exactly.
Yes.
That stuff is delicious.
And listen, and
I'm telling you, man.
And I can go the other way. The dirtiest martini is the best for me.
Right.
You can't put the cart before the horse. That'd be like,
Will you marry me?
Do I know you?
never sign a contract with a roofer before he gets on your roof.
Call Go Roof instead.
We offer a free, no obligation inspection.
A beautiful roof every shingle time.
Bobby, goes in the front.
What about ice cream? Do you like ice cream?
Well, everybody likes ice cream, bro.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Chocolate? Straight chocolate?
Yeah, chocolate.
Do you ever put some chocolate ice cream in a blender and mix some milk in there and put a little bit of malt powder?
Well, yeah, well, that, you know, nowadays.
That stuff is it's
nowadays
amazing.
they don't make malts; they make shakes.
Right.
Every now and then you can go to like the Borden's place in Lafayette, and they make you a malt, and it's not a shake.
Yeah.
It's not, blended ice cream. It's a malt.
I love malts, man.
Oh, yeah.
A good chocolate malt. And I've been to that Borden's. It's amazing.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, that's the last one.
Yeah.
I think that's the last one they had.
And it's like walking back in time.
It's
like
right.
Walking back, 70 years or something like that?
Yeah,
Or 80 years,
you know.
whatever it is. Wayne, if someone wanted to reach out to you and
Yes.
say hello, how do they do that on social media?
You know what, Zodicate? Let's see. I have a Facebook page, the Zodicate fan page. They can reach out to me. Go press like. They can catch us all. We got a great website. Rick Laniels has come forward and put up a great website for us. It tells you everything. It gives us our dates, where we're going to be at. A lot of interesting things that happened over the years.
Yeah.
Some biography stuff.
Yeah. Do you keep
WayneToups.com.
Do you keep up with it, or you have someone that does that?
Oh,
for
no, that's somebody that keeps up with it.
You don't fool with that.
No,
You don't fool with that.
No, you know what I do? I do the bookings.
Yeah.
I do my own bookings. I advance the shows. I have someone else that writes the contracts. I send out all the advanced stuff to the guys. That's what I do. I'm hands-on and I love it.
That's the best way to do it.
I
bro.
love doing it,
Yeah.
And when they pick up the phone and they know it's me calling or they calling and I pick up the phone, it goes a little bit, it's a little bit safer to say that we're going to get the job.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Wayne, thank you so much for
Austin,
talking with
thank
us.
you so much, my friend.
We're going to do it again. And Wayne Toups, check him out online. Check him out on his website. Check him out in concert. If you're anywhere in South Louisiana and you hear that Wayne Toups is going to play a show, make it a point to go. Do you tour, before we go, do you tour a lot out of state?
We do a lot of Texas stuff.
Okay.
And we're starting to trickle into Mississippi a lot. I don't have to travel far to be comfortable in life,
That's a good thing.
I mean, all those guys, they get those buses and they go out and they break it down everywhere and they're away from their family.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that, you
Right.
know. I'm not going to be a millionaire and die, but I'll be okay.
Good words of advice for Mr. Wayne Toups. I'm Austin James. Thank you for watching Austin James Unleashed. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And more great episodes and more great stories are going to be told right here on Austin James Unleashed. Thank you for watching.